It's testimony time about building a supernatural culture in your company. There was a time where we were had a sales team that would go out door to door, and one of the things they love to do is as they're talking to people about their service, their telecommunication service, their TV, their phone, their internet, they would stop and in the midst of it, they would just ask, Lord, what do you want to do? And so many times they would actually get words of knowledge or understanding of a prophetic word for that person. We would see people who had no cartilage in their knees. God would recreate the cartilage inside their knees, and they would have no pain. They were bone on bone. I had a lady who I was installing a TV service for one day. She had 3 back surgeries and 2 bulging discs, and she had oxygen on. And I shared some testimonies of how God had healed her. By the way, that's a key to see the supernatural release, is sharing testimonies. It builds faith inside people to believe for the impossible. But as I shared testimonies, I said, can I just pray for you? And as I did, I put my hand on the disc, bulging disc in the back, and the first one just appeared completely. Freaked me out because I'm like, what the heck? What just happened? Of course, I was acting like I knew what was going on. But the second one disappeared, shrunk 3/4 of the way. She ended up bending down, 84-year-old woman, bending down, touching her toes, took the oxygen off, and she just began to breathe in and out and began to weep because of God's love for her, that God was healing her. We had a guy who walked into my office, and he had been in a motorcycle accident and torn some stuff in his knees, and he was just in pain. And I said, hey, I shared some testimony. I said, hey, can I pray for you? As I prayed for him, all of a sudden he looks at me and goes, dude, what'd you just do? I said, wow, what's going on? He goes, something's happened to my knee. It feels like it's just expanding. It's like, it's weird. And I said, well, why don't you stand up? And he stands up and starts jumping up and down. He goes for a 3-mile hike the next day, completely healed, just overcome by God healing them. I'm going to tell you another key for the supernatural, and that is taking risk. Sometimes it's not comfortable, but as you take risk and step out, God will meet you there. We'll never experience breakthrough or healing if we don't actually pray for people. If you want to see people raised from the dead, start praying for the dead. If you want to see people healed, start praying for the healed, for those who are sick. Another great testimony. We were on a call. I had a video conference call going on. We had about 15 people, and I was actually sharing. We did a class about the kingdom culture inside a company, and so 3/4 of the people on this call were saved, and there's some that weren't. And we just went around and we had words of knowledge, which is where God would give me insight of a sickness or something that's going on with somebody's body that he wants to heal. And so we shared those words of knowledge, and everybody in the call, all the 10 words somebody had, not one person, but multiple people. At the end of the call, there's a guy who said, we asked, is there anybody else that needs prayer? And he says, yeah, I guess I do. I didn't really believe in this stuff. I've gone to church my whole life, but I just didn't believe in it. But I've got this, this tingling thing in my leg. What is it? Well, for the last 3 months, it's been numb. My whole leg, my thigh has been numb. And at night, it feels like this liquid fire just pours over it. I said, well, can we pray for it? Sure. So I ended up having a person who was not saved actually pray, that was on the call, pray for the guy. She goes, I don't even know what to pray. I said, just say, Jesus, thank you that you heal, and you want to heal him, and just release it over him. She prays for him. 95% of the tingling, the numbness left. I talked to him the next day. We pray again. All the numbness is gone. All the fire is gone. Completely healed. Why am I telling you this? Is because if you step out and you begin to ask God to show up and you begin to pray for people, he'll show up and he'll begin to heal. The testimonies that have come out of businesses who have stepped out and have allowed God and given room for God to move, they see things happen. So today I want to encourage you, not only encourage you, I want to challenge you to begin to take risk. Begin to ask God for a heart of love and compassion for people, and begin to know his pleasure for them and hear his pleasure for them, and begin to pray for them and watch what God will do.